because this is content. We're already getting into content.
Okay, I'm recording now. That was the
And
intro that I just did when I said I'm recording now. So go.
okay, would you like to do a proper introduction?
No. Talking to death. Let's go. I'm Fables.
All right, I'm gonna do a proper introduction to anybody who might be listening to the first time, or to us for the first time.
There's definitely going to be some people listening.
My name's Death. This is Fables.
Yeah,
This is
I'm
his channel.
Fables. Kind of drunk.
I'm also kind of drunk, and we're just kind of here, just chatting, talking about stuff that maybe you care about, maybe you don't. Maybe you just want to hear some dudes shoot the shit for a while. Who knows? This is probably the right place for you. Anyways, as I was saying, as a pizza delivery guy, I would kill, dude, for somebody to just be like, "Oh, hey, by the way, uh I know you're just delivering a pizza or whatever. Here's a brand new car. We're straight up like here's a check for 10, $15,000, whatever. We're gonna take you to a lot, buy you a new car right now, bro. Change my life forever. You kidding me? I would love to do that for somebody one day down the road when I have the money to do so. To just take some random fucking like 20-year-old pizza dude and be like, nah, listen, you're driving around this old broken down piece of shit mobile. Nah, dude, we're gonna get y'all hooked up with like a nice new Corolla or something, you know? I would love to do that. That'd be fucking sick.
So, were you a pizza delivery? Yeah, at one point.
Very briefly, for about like 4 months, right before COVID.
That's oh well, mine was way before COVID. So, mine was about the same amount of time. Who are you working for?
Papa John's.
Well, I wish I was working for Papa John's, but I don't
Don't
know.
even.
I was working for Pizza Hut as a delivery driver.
Did you
I
ever
kind
work closing shift?
of all the time. That's what I was actually. I don't think I
So
ever
what did you,
opened.
what were your responsibilities?
So I was doing the prep room, and that was badass because I could listen to music. As long as I got my job done, I could do whatever the fuck I wanted. Because like I was in a room by myself, and I would get the frozen dough, spray the spray on it, and put it on the pan, put it and like put it in the freezer, prep it to be turned into pizzas. And then when I'd get a call, I'd leave the prep room, go deliver the pizzas, and dude, the tips I'd get would be insane. Not money, cause
So
the tips I'd get that were money, that was all right. But sometimes I'd meet a bitch, like hot bitch, be like, "Hey,
okay, all right, maybe
you like
don't.
weed?"
Maybe all right, maybe maybe don't go into all that. But what I will say on that is, I had a very different kind of responsibility at Papa John's, closing, as the delivery guy. I'd make all the last minute deliveries, come back to the store, sweep and mop the entire thing, do like 3 fucking huge loads of dishes right before the end of the night, get all that swept and mopped and wiped down and cleaned up and blah blah blah, count out the money and shit, count down the register with the manager, do this, that, and the other for the deposits, like all of this shit. And I'm like, bro, I signed up to be a delivery driver. That's it. I didn't sign up to be a janitor. I didn't sign up to clean the fucking bathroom. I didn't sign up to sweep and mop. I didn't sign up to do dishes. I signed up to drive pizzas to people's houses. That's it.
Yeah, you follow the job description whenever you do jobs.
Yeah, but whenever you apply for a job, that the job description or the title or whatever is delivery driver, and then you look at the job requirements or whatever the fuck you just said, and it's like a list of 25 fucking things. It's like, okay, that's not what you're advertising. That's not a delivery driver job
I
anymore.
I am
Like that.
what you would recall, I don't know if anybody calls it this, an aggressive employee. I don't care about the job description. I will get hired to do what I'm gonna do, whatever they want me to do. Usually I'll do it, and if I'm fine with it for the pay that I'm getting, I'm cool with it. If not, then I will demand a raise. I do this all the time, every job. I will demand a raise. If they don't give it to me, I will keep demanding and demanding and demanding. I'll keep doing my job. And if they don't give it to me, I'll put in my 2 weeks, not have a job for a little while, get a new job. It's usually what I do.
Yeah, I
But
never really had
if I like to
had
pay
that.
for what I'm doing, then I'll accept it, take that pay.
I mean, most of the time, the jobs I've been in, it's like
But
there's
I don't do
not really
bullshit
anybody
jobs.
to there's not anybody to argue with about getting a higher
Uh,
pay. Like,
yeah,
there's nowhere to,
I'm
you
also
know.
in a very, I guess you'd call it a privileged position, I guess, but it's not really because I'm poor. But I don't have to have a job. Like if I didn't have a job, I could still survive and eat and live in a house with people that would care for me forever. But I like to have things of my own, so that's why I always have a job. I forgot where I was going with that.
I don't know. But
Money.
anyways,
I like
I know
money.
that you said you have topics.
Oh, I got plenty of topics.
So
We can talk
let's have
about,
one.
I don't know, fucking,
Throw some fucking Parmesan breadsticks on the table, bro. Let's eat.
I don't know. We might have to cut for a second because I gotta piss again. Let me take a
Oh,
few.
jeez.
Let me take a few drinks. Oh no.
Oh, Lord.
What's the best alcohol you've ever had?
Uh,
Not what you drink usually, but
the
like literally the best you've ever had.
like the best tasting.
No, it doesn't have to be the best tasting. Just what you liked the most.
I mean, I like my regular the most. I
What's your regular then?
Jim Beam Apple. A lot of people don't like flavored whiskeys. I say I don't fucking care.
I don't like
Tastes
flavored
good to me.
whiskeys. I
I
like
don't
rye
care. Tastes good to
whiskeys.
me. I don't like rye whiskey.
Although
That's just too hard.
I've been drinking Old Camp's Wolf Moon straight bourbon whiskey. That's what I'm drinking now. I put up the other stuff that was 90 proof. This
Yeah, I
stuff,
like bourbon.
this stuff is 80 proof. It's pretty good. I like it. I like it.
Because bourbon it basically just means it got aged in a
The
barrel.
thing though with rye whiskey, you have to put a little bit of water in it, or it's gonna be weird. Like it's gonna be really harsh. You probably aren't gonna like it. But you put, say you got like 4 ounces of whiskey, you put a quarter ounce of water in it. It changes it. Or like put it on ice or something.
Yeah.
Boy, so good. A little
Yeah,
bit
like
of,
those are supposed to be served on the rocks.
yeah, it's so good. I like room temperature whiskey.
I mean, that's how I drink mine. But I really like absinthe, which is really dumb because I don't like licorice.
You know what they call room temperature alcohol?
Hmm,
It's cowboy cold.
true.
Just when you got like a 30 pack sitting right next to you drinking all day, it's cowboy cold.
If it ain't sitting out in the heat blistering, If it's room temp, that's cowboy cold.
That's what's good about bourbon and rum. Because you can drink that shit warm and it's gonna still be fucking good.
Dude, yeah, like my ultimate fucking drink that I make that I dare anybody to not get shit faced off of. Grog. Just straight grog. So literally fucking Kraken black, molasses,
Cracking.
and brown sugar.
Oh,
Or
bro. Ooh.
that and lime juice. That's it.
You
That's
want to
it.
hear my favorite drink? Kraken Black with some black walnut bitters and some chocolate bitters and some lime juice. A little bit, probably about half an ounce of lime juice.
I mean,
It's so fucking good.
the bitters is too fancy for me. I'm
I
going
like me
raw
some.
ingredients.
I like me
I'm
some
going.
bitters, man. Bitters ain't
This is
too
the shit
fancy.
that
They ain't too fancy.
this is the shit
That's
that
like
pirates would
mid-level
have their
bar.
hands on.
Pirates that have some bitters, especially if they were English or Scottish, they'd be having some bitters.
You know what? Maybe you're right. I don't actually know enough about this, but to me,
I've been doing a
pirates,
lot of
raw
research recently
ingredients,
because I'm a
black
bartender
spiced
now.
rum from fucking the Caribbean, key lime, key limes, Key West limes from obviously Key West, and fucking brown sugar and molasses from all those islands too.
That sounds so good, man.
That's like the hard, raw, natural ingredients that they would have their hands on, and that's what they would mix.
Right now, I'm just going with this fucking Wolf Moon and zero sugar Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, I just drink whiskey and water.
Hey, man, I'll do whiskey and water. What kind of water?
I only drink spring water.
Kind of spring water though. Just any kind. Any kind you
I
decide you
mean,
want.
whatever I can get my hands on, really. This one is Southeast Grocers.
I like me some. I like Fuji or Fiji. I don't remember. I'm drunk right now. I like Smart Water. I like Voss Water. Fucking Crystal Geyser. I think that's an Arkansas water. I like Crystal Geyser. I get that a lot.
I've seen Crystal Geyser.
Shit tastes like the mountains, and I love it. Tastes like it came out of a mountain stream. I don't know if you've ever drank from a mountain stream.
I have.
Boys, it's best tasting water. Hot Springs,
It goes
Arkansas
hard.
has the best water of all time, man. Like, they have like the open fountains. People will take jugs to these open fountains that are just like in the middle of the streets. It's got hot ass water in it, but it's so pure, and like you get it, and like not pure, but like so delicious and like full of minerals. People will get jugs of this shit and just take it home. You live around hot springs, you got a hot, like good water forever.
Yeah, that was something my dad was pretty adamant about. Just wanting to live near some sort of river.
Dude, Arkansas, so good. Recommend.
Yeah. I don't know.
I'm even Florida really, but like gotta stay as far away from the ocean as possible. I don't like the ocean.
I mean, Florida's got a lot of scary shit, though. That's the thing.
I don't mind scary shit. There's a lot of scary shit here.
Like, between the snakes and alligators and the spiders and
You guys
swamp water infections.
Yeah, you guys have bigger. We live in the swamp too. But you guys have bigger snakes, but we have more snakes.
We've also got a very good variety.
I think we have a bigger variety because I think we have because Arkansas is the place where all of the fringe species go and meet in a fucking area. We get crazy shit that does not belong here sometimes. We've been getting bears recently, like in the past 10 years. That's something we haven't experienced before.
Dude, some crazy shit happened in Florida. They found a spider that was a hybrid of a brown recluse and a black widow.
No, thank you. We have a brown recluse problem around here.
They call it a black recluse or a brown widow. And that
We
is a
have-
Florida
We
specific
have something
hybrid.
really because I don't think that's the official name of it then because we have black recluses.
Okay.
Or maybe
Okay,
that's
alright.
not. Or maybe that's not the official name of the black recluse. I don't know.
I don't know.
We have
don't
mostly
know.
brown recluses. And
I just saw
fuck
a
those
thing
things,
that was
man.
like, hey, here's a thing that exists in Florida that makes Florida more scary. And I'm like, damn, true. You right, though, Google. That shit do be
I've
scary.
been bit by a brown recluse 3 times.
I got bit by something. I don't
No,
know
4.
what the fuck it
4
was.
times. I got one on each knee. I got one that was on my face. There is a hole in my face right here. You can see it kinda, like in real life. It's hard to tell on
I can't
camera.
see your camera on
Yeah.
Xbox.
Well, I'm showing the camera, but
Oh, are you
there's
still
like
recording?
yeah, I've been recording.
Oh shit.
You haven't said anything incriminating yet.
No, I thought that you were taking a break to pee and stuff.
Well, when I do that, I'm just gonna cut it when I do the video editor.
Mm.
But I got bit by a brown recluse right under my eye, one on each knee, at the same time on each knee. I think it might have been the same fucking spider. And one on my ass, my left ass cheek. And there's still a hole there with the skin healed over it. Like I can feel it if I put my hand back there.
Bro, fuck that.
It's like right in the middle of my left ass cheek.
Fuck that.
Yeah. Fuck spiders, man. Not all spiders. I like wolf spiders.
I don't.
We have wolf spiders around here, and they eat.
Yeah,
We have a lot of dangerous insects and annoying insects, and wolf spiders eat those. Oh, and orb weavers. And orb weavers are pretty. I like orb weavers. They eat a lot of the bigger
I'll give you that.
insects.
Like
We-
they are pretty.
We had 4 of them on our porch, and we were feeding them.
Overload.
Orb weavers are the ones where you can see like they wrap bugs up in their webs, and there's like a fucking orb, and they eat it, and they like suck through it like a straw. That's just cool as fuck.
I know what they are because of a Max Mofo video from like 6 or 7 years ago where he had a massive infestation of golden orb weavers in his backyard.
Dude, I want so bad. I love orb weavers.
You probably like this video then.
I might have seen it. I used to watch a lot of Max Mofo because of H3.
See, I went the other way.
You watched Max Mofo and then ended up watching H3.
It started with Filthy Frank,
Yeah.
and then iDubbbz and Max.
I worked my way backwards. I did the H3 and then discovered all of those people. Because I didn't know about content cop or none of that until H3.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I was fully aware of Frank and Max and iDubbbz like well before I knew about H3. I only knew about H3 because of the ravioli slurping homeless man video.
Okay, gotta take a break real quick because I'm about to piss myself.
Okay. What was the Max Mofo thing I was looking at? Oh yeah, Golden Orb Weavers. Okay. But yeah, I don't know if you can still hear me or not, but I went at it the exact opposite direction. I saw Ethan in Filthy Frank videos, and I saw Ela's background and artwork and stuff, and I was like, oh, this actually looks interesting. And then I saw one of their videos and they recommended and clicked it, and it was them hating on like Joey Salads or some shit. And I was like, this is funny as fuck. I like this bomb ass editing. Because that's when Ethan used to do all the editing, and he was like a meme lord. So I was like, fuck yeah, I love this shit. And then the podcast happened, and then the podcast kind of sucked, and then I fell off for a bit, and then the podcast picked back up, and then I got back into it, and I was like, all right, cool. But yeah, Filthy Frank is the origin point of everything YouTube for me, and then the other origin point was Funhouse, demo disc videos. Then watching all of those, and then getting into Funhouse, and then getting into Achievement Hunter, and then Rooster Teeth, like Sugar Pine, and all of that, like Cow Chop, like that got me into that whole realm. So between Filthy Frank and Funhouse, I got my foothold in the YouTube space.
I know nothing about Filthy Frank.
I know
Other than he
everything about
had,
Filthy Frank.
other than he used to wear a green suit and made a funny face.
Well, it was a pink suit, but
It was a pink suit. No, I've seen him in a green suit.
I don't think you have.
Unless it was like a color swap.
Yeah, no, he it was always pink guy or Chin Chin, which was black.
I don't know.
I know too much about Filthy Frank.
Maybe I'm misremembering.
Like,
I don't know. I didn't know. I don't know much about Filthy Frank other than he quit and made a music career. What's his name?
let me George Miller,
No, no. I meant what's his name now?
Joji.
Yeah, Joji. That's right.
Where is the full lore movie? Oh, there's a remastered version now. Okay.
Oh shit. Discord really doesn't like me having, not Discord. OBS really doesn't like me having my Discord video open. Keeps wanting to skip.
Is it just too much for it?
Yeah, I don't know why. It might be my OBS settings. I don't know. I'm gonna figure it out later.
Dude, I know far too much about Filthy Frank lore to the point where it's something that I should not outwardly admit. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of people that have been on the internet for a long enough time that will hear me say, "Oh, I know all of the Filthy Frank lore," and they'll just immediately be like, "Oh,
Yeah.
you're one of those people.
I don't
Gotcha."
I don't think that's as bad as like I know the lore of just so many random YouTubers like Game Grumps. I know the entire lore of the Game Grumps.
That's what I have no idea about.
Pretty much like all of the big Newgrounds guys like Chris O'Neill, Spaz Kid, Psychic Pebbles. I know the lore of all those guys.
Wait, Psychic Pebbles is from Newgrounds?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Wait, isn't Psychic Pebbles involved with H3?
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh shit.
Yeah, he used to play characters and like call in and shit like that all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he's got that show Smiling Friends on Adult Swim. Dude, I've watched his entire come up.
Okay. I mean, I'm
And
all about
Aaron
that kind of shit.
Hansen from the Game Grumps was in Rick and Morty. Bet you didn't know that.
Ego Raptor was in
Yeah.
Rick and Morty?
Yeah, Ego Raptor was in Rick and Morty.
What? Who did he voice?
I don't remember what his name was, and I don't remember what his lines were.
I'm
It was
gonna
in
have to look
season.
that up.
It was in season 2. I promise
I
you.
need to see that. No, I believe you. I just need to see.
Maybe season
Damn.
3, but I think it was season 2.
Rick and
He was just
Morty.
like a random guy in the
Ego Raptor.
it was in one of the bird
I see
bird
it.
episodes.
This is a candid shot. I don't require. So, I am not staring at you.
That doesn't sound like him at all.
Oh, it totally does. It 100% does. You have to be a Game
I mean,
Grumps fan to you would know if you were a
to
Game
be
Grumps
fair,
fan.
I'm not a Game Grumps fan, and I don't know. So, yeah.
They fell off for me, but man, I still listen to Ninja Sex Party and Starbomb sometimes.
I never got into them, frankly.
You don't like Ninja Sex Party?
Nah.
Oh man, Ninja Sex Party is pretty good actually. Starbomb
I
is
mean,
because all their songs are about video games.
I've watched the first like 150 or 200 episodes of the Off Topic podcast probably 3 or 4 times.
Cause the Ninja Sex Party 6969 is legitimately good. It's like a kind of an offshoot parody of 2112 by Rush. But it's about a future where fucking is not allowed. It's a good song. I like that one.
A future where fucking is not allowed.
And Steel Panther is a feature on that song. Which they're alright. I don't really like hair metal. But that song's good.
I like some hair metal.
Not a fan. Not a fan
like
of hair
Rat.
metal. Don't really like Rat.
Dude, you can't tell me Round and Round isn't a banger.
Mm-hmm.
That song goes so hard.
That one's good. But
Or like Home Sweet Home by Motley Crue.
yeah, that's where you lose me. Don't really like Motley Crue. I like Skid Row.
Bro, have you heard that song though?
Yes, I have. I've heard.
Dude,
I've probably
the
heard
falsetto.
every Motley Crue song
The falsetto though.
because I have a friend who's like full on into hair metal, and we were best friends in high school.
Like Homeboy straight up said, "Tonight, I'm on
I
my
like
way."
a lot
That
of
shit goes so hard, dude.
I like a lot of hair metal-esque music. Like I like Rainbow and Dio. But that's more power metal.
Rainbow in the Dark.
Yeah, it's a good song. I
It's a
like
fucking banger.
some Ozzy Osbourne songs, his solo stuff.
Some of it.
Skid Row. I like a lot of Skid Row stuff.
What was the one Ozzy Osbourne song? I Don't Want to Stop. That song was fucking great.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a newer one though.
Yeah, but I mean, still, you say newer, but that
I
song
don't
came out
wanna
like 15
stop.
years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, but he's been around since the late 60s.
Since
so
the 70s. Yeah, yeah.
1968 is when Black Sabbath really got their start.
But I don't know, man.
Because if you don't remember, My
Like,
gamer tag on Xbox was Sabbath 1968. That
no,
was why.
I know.
It
I
was my
know.
very first gamer tag.
I just I do like power metal though.
I like foreign
Like,
power metal. I don't like a lot of the American power metal. English
dude,
power metal and German power metal, unbeatable though.
but Hybria,
I don't
and
think I
Iced
I don't think
Earth.
I know Hybria. I know Iced Earth.
Iced Earth is one of the greatest bands of all time. I will argue that up and down all day, every day.
I agree they're definitely in the top 200.
Jesus Christ. I'd put them in the top like 50.
I don't know. Maybe in your own personal, but
Like, to me,
I think in the objective top 200 they're in there. Maybe like
they're
one.
really,
I'd like to
really
say
good.
153.
I mean, I'll take that though. There's a lot of really good fucking bands. Also, please have a click.
I don't want to listen to it right now, but I'll add it to my watch later.
God damn it.
Well, we're recording. I don't really want to stop that.
True, true, true. They have other really good songs too.
Steel Lord on Wheels. Okay.
Yeah, Steel Lord on Wheels. I'm gonna send you a few.
Yeah, do that.
Like,
I'll put them all on
just
my
the
watch
best.
later. They'll end up in my fucking YouTube algorithm on YouTube Music, even if I don't
Like,
check them out directly. It's usually how it
they
goes.
they got some fucking for real bangers, bro.
'Cause YouTube will be like, "Hey, remember those those videos you put in to watch later? Here you go." I'll be like, "Oh yeah, I forgot about those."
Also, going back to Iced Earth, did you ever listen to Gettysburg?
Did you send it to me?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Oh, then probably not.
Okay, so this isn't okay. The fan base has collectively said that this is one song. And in reality it is. It's the last 3 songs from the album something about the I can't remember what it was called.
Oh, okay.
The
Apparently,
album
apparently, I
all
have
about
heard.
war.
I've heard a couple songs off this album.
The Glorious Burden. This album is all about famous historic wars. And the last 3 songs are titled July
Yeah.
1st, 2nd, and 3rd of 1863.
You know, I don't remember listening to this album, but it's got the the red line
Yeah.
that shows like that you've listened to it before. Yeah.
But
There's
this
4 songs off
particular,
this album have been listened to before, I guess just randomly in quick picks playlists.
that particular collection right there, though, the last 3 songs from that album are the Gettysburg Address. It's the Civil War. It's like the brutalest,
Yep.
bloodiest, craziest, shittiest time for American history.
Sounds
They
like my kind of music.
They made a 30-minute epic out of those 3 days of warfare. And it's phenomenal. They've got cannons, they've got a full chorus, they've got a full orchestra, they've got everything, bro. And it sounds so good. It sounds so fucking good. Like, I cannot put forward enough how strongly I endorse this particular set of songs. It is so fucking good. If you're an American citizen and you've got fucking red, white, and blue running through your veins, and you listen to that 30 minutes of fucking music and you're not in a little bit of tears by the end, there's something fucking wrong with you.
Same
Straight
with
up.
yeah. Same with All That Remains.
Yes, yeah. It's like
On par.
it's just so
Iced
it,
Earth,
it
All That Remains. That's all you need.
like it hits the American core. These particular songs hitting on the Civil War in particular, it's so strong. It's such a strong fucking vivid imagery. And these motherfuckers are basically like history teachers. They've got like lore accurate like dates and times and places and movements and like battle strategies and shit going into the lyrics. Like, it's fucking impressive. It's historically accurate.
Vilo is typing.
I see that.
Maybe he wants to join in. If not, we'll cut this part out. Oh. Lame. He doesn't want to join. He's just making excuses. He's scared.
True. Can't handle the truth. Meanwhile, I'm just over here ranting about fucking how badass power metal is.
Power metal is badass. What kind of power metal you like? Besides, what we were talking about.
I like the badass kind of power metal, dude. Like, honestly, one of my favorite one of my favorite songs
he made us
from
lose
Iced
the game.
Earth. Son of a bitch. One of my favorite Iced Earth songs is from an album called Horror Show, which is all about movie monsters. And they made a song called Damien that's about the kid from The Omen. And there's this part.
I think I know that song.
Of it. There's this breakdown in the middle of it where everything goes like kind of chill, and he just starts like reciting this shit, and it's like straight up the most evil thing I've ever heard. Like, actually, like you believe in the Christian stuff, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and I know about Damien and the Omen and all that shit too. So
okay. There's a part in the middle. I want to just read you the excerpt. Okay, where is it? Okay, Nazarene, what can you offer? Since the hour you vomited forth from the gaping wound of a woman, you have done nothing but drown men's soaring desires in a deluge of sanctimonious morality. I was conceived of a jackal. Your pain on the cross was nothing but a splinter compared to the agony of my father. I will drive deeper the thorns into your rancid carcass. You profaner of Isis, cursed Nazarene, I will avenge thy torment.
that sounds low-key Christian.
Tell me that's not the most evil shit you've ever heard in your fucking life.
It doesn't. It sounds like the opposite.
No, he's straight up telling Jesus Christ that he's a fraud.
Exactly, yeah.
That's the most anti-Christian thing that there is. What do you mean?
No, that is totally a Christian thing to do, though. The song, because that.
Bro, this song is literally about the Antichrist. Like,
yeah. So, just because it's about the Antichrist doesn't mean that it's anti-Christian, though. You ever heard? I showed you the song "Visual" by Lamb of God. It's about a guy that's that knows God is real but denies him and hates him. But that's just the story of it.
So can I just read the next couple lines?
Yeah, go for it.
Right after that bit. Um, Now, disciples of the watch, see your prince of darkness rise. Through famine and destruction, the four horsemen at my side. I demand a victory. I demand your sacrifice, or spend all eternity in the flaccid guts of Christ.
Yeah, in the guts of Christ. And also the four horsemen at his side. Don't the four horsemen work for God? They don't work for Satan.
I mean,
They're in the
that's
Bible.
kind of the thing, right?
I
Is
mean,
like the apocalypse is like a part of the Christian design. It's like a normal thing that's like supposed to happen, right?
yeah,
I mean, Revelations exists for a reason.
yeah.
So like,
The world
is
has
this
to be
actually
destroyed so that the new world can be reborn. Or
so
born.
is this like actually super fucking evil, or is this like
Yeah, I don't think
the
it's
next
actually
step?
evil. I think it's describing evil, but it's not necessarily evil.
The last lines, when the Jews return to Zion and a comet fills the Holy Roman Empire, and you and I must die. From the eternal sea he rises, creating armies on either shore, turning man against his brother until man exists no more.
Yeah. That sounds pretty fucking like what's gonna happen. I think this is more of a Christian sided, or not even Christian, but more God sided than Satan sided.
But it's one of those things where it's like, oh, you see
It's
Antichrist.
describing evil.
It's the Antichrist. It's the antithesis of the good thing, right? The good thing being Jesus Christ, the Lord and Savior, this, that, and the other. And fucking the Antichrist being the antithesis of that, everything bad, right? But it's like you look at it in context of Revelations, and it's suddenly like, oh wait, no, maybe that's the good guy.
Well,
Shit.
Antichrist isn't really bad. The way it is really portrayed is that Jesus is right and Satan is wrong.
Or more that just like
There can be
Satan
good
is selfish.
there can be yeah, but there can be good things that are wrong.
Like that's kind of the thing that I always got from it, is that like Satan never really did anything particularly like wrong per se. It was just that he was being too selfish and trying to overstep his boundaries
Which is
and
wrong.
ask for too much.
Yeah. But there's also something that's called um shit, I can't remember what it's called now. It's like
Being
there
unappreciative.
is evil in ignorance. Like sometimes you can think you're
I've
doing
heard that.
good, but you're actually doing evil.
And I mean that how that actually holds a lot in like today's modern kind and inclusive or whatever, blah, and like, but in all actuality,
That's why
you're
I'm an
just bringing up
anarchist.
some shit that nobody wanted to think about in the first place.
That's why I'm an anarchist. Because I don't know. I don't really want to come to any conclusions because everything changes. Like even science, we could be fucking wrong, even though it's right today. Who
Mm-hmm.
knows, man? Everybody's lying to us all the time. Government's lying to us, telling us the truth sometimes and lying to us sometimes, so you don't know what the hell is happening.
And
Media's
that's
doing
why
the same thing. It's basically another branch of the government at this point.
I live my life as a very simple universalist that just sits quietly on the out. And whatever happens in the world is going to happen in the world, and whatever is accepted and is true and like has proof and everything, that's what I'm going to go with.
You ever seen
Uh,
2012?
yeah,
I feel like I'm
terrible
turning
movie.
into Charlie.
Oh, I don't remember the characters.
I just watched it yesterday or the day before. I don't remember. Days are kind of running together. But
I don't
there's
think I've watched that movie since it came
Charlie
out.
is the guy that lives in the mountains that has the RV that ends up being right about everything, but he seems like he's crazy. You don't remember Matthew McConaughey
Gotcha.
or not Matthew
No, no,
McConaughey? Fucking fuck.
no, it
Woody
was the
Harrelson.
other. Yep. Okay. Yep. Same. That they talk the same. I know. I know. Yeah. No. I know what you're talking about. It's just been so fucking long since I've seen that movie.
Do you know who the Amazing Atheist is?
I've heard that name.
Oh, well, I was gonna. If you knew who he was, I was gonna say. Basically, I think Amazing Atheist based his character off of Charlie from 2012. I like that movie a
Gotcha.
lot. You don't like that movie?
I I I've only seen it once,
Oh, I like
and
bad
it was a
movies though.
very long time ago.
It's kind of bad. It's kind of
I
ridiculous,
mean,
especially when the world starts breaking apart. You're like, it's kind of cool at first, and then you're like, okay, they're just going for the shots now.
so here's the thing. I
Because
like bad movies.
they're flying a plane through the while everything like there's cliffs breaking through the fucking cities and shit, and they're flying planes through it, and the fucking train just flies out of nowhere, and they fly underneath it, and I'm like, all right, and then they have to fly through two buildings that are crashing together twice, and I'm like, okay, they're just going for cool shots now, which I respect.
I mean, yeah, that's what the point of the movie was. It was
It's
supposed to be a
just
cinematic, like,
yeah,
a
it's just
theatrical kind of
ridiculous.
experience.
It's a ridiculous
Yeah,
movie,
it's over the top. It's over the top.
and the way the world, what happens to make the world end would never happen.
But yeah, I like watching shitty B movies that are poorly produced, poorly acted, poorly
Well,
directed,
actually,
poorly
it's not a
shot.
B movie.
But no, I know it's not. I know it's not. I'm. This is a separate kind of thought. But I like watching shitty movies.
Yeah, same.
Um,
You ever seen
however,
Cabin in the Woods?
I actually thought that was a great movie. Call me
Exactly.
crazy. I thought it was
Exactly.
great. I loved it.
And that was
But
a B movie.
I like watching those kind of movies one time. I don't go back and rewatch shitty films. Like I don't have a favorite shitty movie. You know what I mean? Like I just I see a shitty movie, I watch it, I consume it, and I'm like, wow, that was fucking garbage. I loved it. And then I move on. You know, like
Well, see,
I don't linger on shit.
I have a digital media library, so it's a little bit different. I go back and watch stuff that's in my library sometimes. But
Yeah,
like
like for me, rewatch stuff is like
the
old YouTube
any
Let's
of the
Plays.
Evil Dead stuff, I'm all in.
Hmm.
Army of Darkness is my favorite.
I've never actually watched Army of Darkness.
I love Army of Darkness. Evil Dead 2, Army of Darkness, and then the Evil Dead TV series, season 1 and
Yeah,
2, great.
I watched the first Evil Dead movie and then the first.
And then you cut out. I didn't hear the.
Oh, and then the remake of the first movie.
It was all right.
I thought it was good. I thought it was good. There were scenes where I was like,
You got to see Evil Dead 2 if you haven't seen it.
I haven't yet, dude. Just because I've been having so many problems with my mom.
Evil Dead 2 is a remake
And
of Evil Dead 1, kind of. It's so weird how the timeline works because it happens. It's canon, but it also happens at the same time as Evil Dead 1. But it only makes sense if you watch Army of Darkness and then the Evil Dead series.
Fuck.
but they're so good. It's like B movie. It's like it's B movie goodness. It's B
I know
horror
that I would
goodness.
like it. I just haven't watched it just because I don't know.
The
I just don't watch.
characters of Evil Dead is really of the Evil Dead series is really what makes the series.
I don't know the characters
But
other
yeah.
than Ash.
Ash and the I don't remember their names, but the other two, the girl and the guy.
I have no idea.
I was really invested in their characters. They're good all the way up till the end. Just kind of when it ends, they canceled it, so it doesn't really resolve their characters.
Oh, that's yeah.
The storyline gets resolved, but the characters don't get resolved.
See, like I'm also facing another dilemma where on the exact opposite end of the spectrum. I've never seen Game of Thrones, which
I don't like Game of Thrones.
It's widely regarded as one of the greatest pieces of television in history.
Hot
It's
take?
like up there with Breaking Bad.
Yeah, hot take. I don't like Lord of the Rings either.
I don't know if we can be friends.
Uh-oh. It's boring. I've tried. I fall asleep. I've seen it. I've seen it all the way through. I've seen all the way through multiple times. I just cannot.
I have sat around with my friends and had 11 and a half. God damn it, it just cut out.
Yeah,
I've had 11 and a half. Okay, Discord, I swear to God, get your shit together.
It's not Discord.
I've had 11 and a half hour fucking viewing parties of Lord of the Rings. The extended cut director's edition, whatever, blah, 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 like with my friends, and had a great fucking time several times. And I love Lord of the Rings.
I do
don't
the same
really
thing.
Give two shits about Star Wars. I don't really give two shits about Star Trek. I don't really give two shits about like that other whatever shit that there is.
I
like,
do the same thing
it's
you
Lord
do.
Of the Rings.
No, for me, it's Harry Potter.
Harry Potter's mid. It's like it's okay.
Disagree. Have you read? If you probably haven't read the books.
I read up until the first. I read up until the fourth. I read up until the fourth book, and then
they're so
I got
good,
like
man.
halfway through it, and it got so fucking boring, and I was essentially carrying around a 800-page Bible in my fucking backpack,
dude.
And my shit was already heavy from the textbooks, and I was like, nah, fuck reading.
The last two books are so good.
That book is the book that killed me on reading. Goblet of Fire.
You didn't? What did you ever read? Cirque du Freak.
Before that, yes.
Cirque du Freak is what made me get the honor roll for 2 years straight.
Oh, like Cirque du Freak, Series of Unfortunate Events, the Demonata series.
Yeah, Demonata. I like Demonata. Series of Unfortunate Events is good.
But
I was reading basic books.
I started to get into Harry Potter in 6th or 7th grade. That was the last book that I read for fun.
I was reading
that killed it.
I was reading like 600 to fucking 900, sometimes 1,000-page books when I was like 3rd, 4th grade. I don't want to say her name, but me and this girl were kind of competing for like most pages, biggest books read, and most amount read, with the highest scores on our accelerated reader tests. We were competing with each other.
Thing.
Yeah.
Like,
we were competing.
I could have done that. So here's what I did, though. I would just take tests for a whole bunch of random books that I had never read and just try to guess the correct answers off of context clues. And I could do that most of the time for most books. And so I would just, the first day of school, go to the library and get all my AR points for the year and then just be done. And nobody would ever ask me any questions. I was just done for the year every. the first day of school?
From like 2nd grade to 6th grade, I was competing to be valedictorian. Not saying that I was super smart or anything. I was just super competitive. So I was trying to get like highest scores on every test and like all the homework and shit and doing everything.
Yeah, I get that, and I had something similar. But in first grade, this girl, I I know her full name. I won't say it, but I know her full name, just off rip because of how catastrophic it was to me. In my class, she was the only kid that got straight A's, and I had straight A's except for one B. And do you know what that B was in?
Math?
Fucking art.
Art? Ooh.
Because I can't do
I was an admin
art.
in art.
I'm not an artist. I can't do art. I don't do colors. I don't do drawing. I don't do tracing. I don't stay in the fucking lines. I don't do anything. No, nothing artistic ever. Period. Bad. Not good for me. Me not do art good. So I gotta be in art in first grade. And this fucking bitch, this fucking stupid little fucking bitch, got straight A's, and she sneered at me, rubbed it in my fucking face. And ever since then, I didn't fucking care. I'm like,
Oh
you know what?
man.
I'll get A's.
That's
and
how you
B's.
do
I'll
it.
be on the
That's how
fucking
you do
A and
it.
B honor roll, and
Hold up.
I'll just fucking I don't care as long as I get A's and B's. As long as I don't get a fucking C, I'm good. I don't fucking care.
My art teacher was cool as fuck. So she really liked the rebellious artists because that's what me and my buddy Freedom were. We would try and do the assignment and defy it at the same time. We would technically do the assignment and just do everything wrong, just as much wrong as possible. And that's how we got through art, and she fucking made us admin.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I get
she
into relationships with women who are good at art
we got
because I am not.
we got an assignment to work do pottery and work with clay and stuff. She was like, if you make a bong, I will break it and you'll get a 0. So you know what I did?
You made a bong.
No, I made a hookah. She didn't know what a hookah was. And then when she gave me a B for it, and then I explained it to her what it was. So she gave me an A for creativity. Low key, she was smoking pot though.
I think every art teacher does, low key. Except for the one at my elementary school. That bitch was wound up tighter than Dick's headband.
I used to I was always late to art, so right before art class, when I was in art 3, I was in my 3rd year of art, I would go out to the parking lot to my Ford Explorer, smoke a little bit, and then come back to art class and be high as fuck and just work on some shit and just do some crazy shit.
As one does.
Yeah. And when you're in the 3rd year, she kind of would let us do whatever we wanted as long as we were making some kind of art. So that was cool as fuck.
I am being lied to. This thing says that there is matchmaking, and it isn't.
Playing Destiny. It says that
I'm casually trying to do something.
it says Dusty's also playing, but I don't know if he's playing or if he's just,
That's
got his
the thing
Xbox
with
on.
Dusty. Like, whenever he plays a game, I never know if he's ever playing, because it's like with Diablo 4, it's just like
He'll leave
he's
his
just
Xbox
always
on.
Diablo 4 24/7. I don't know if he's fucking playing. I don't know if I should send him a party invite. I don't know. Destiny 2 now. He's just always on 24/7 now. I don't know if he's actually playing. I don't know if I should send him a party invite. Like Doesn't really help. Meanwhile, I'm over here like, oh, I'm gonna run some Southern Spire. Ah.
Wait, so what am I calling you? Am I calling you Death or am I calling you Big Daddy Death?
I just go by Death. Much simpler.
Is it like
Much easier to say.
Is it like how is it spelled? How is Death spelled?
It is De4th.
Okay, that's how I thought. So that's how I'm gonna put it in the title.
But I mean, one day, I don't know. Maybe one day I make it big. Maybe I can get the full title and I can A.
You
You
could
know,
be
maybe I can make the switch over. I
yeah,
don't
you
know,
can be B
but
double D, the Big Daddy Death.
I mean, that's kind of what I'm aiming for. You know, this is like, hey, Big Daddy Death. Like I'm kind of the more how do you put it? Sensible,
You
old
know what?
soul kind of.
You know what Big Daddy Death says to me?
Hmm.
Like you're sitting on a chopper, riding casually. You're the Grim Reaper, you know. Got your scythe attached to the side. Could use it if you want to.
If I may,
You may.
fuck a chopper.
Yeah, I don't like choppers, but
Here's the real deal.
the style of the chopper is cool.
Do you know?
Indians,
d-
'cause they're my favorite.
Do you know what aircraft is nicknamed the Angel of Death?
No.
The AC-130.
Oh yeah,
That is
it's
my
kind of
favorite
old.
flying
Yeah.
vehicle. Fuck with an AC-130.
It's like
See what happens.
it's like 2010.
I'm just saying. Those aircraft, they are loaded to the fucking brim with firepower and flares. The reason it got the nickname, the Archangel of Death, the Angel of Death, is simply because of the flare pattern. It shoots out from both of the wingtips and directly underneath of the carriage. So it looks like a triangle spreading like wings. Whenever the flares all fall, it actually looks like a big set of wings.
Hey, do you know?
Really fucking cool.
Do you know what that ultimate weapon's called? I don't think it's real, but it's like a fucking tungsten rod that falls from space. What is that called?
Bro,
It's like
that's real.
it's
I
not.
don't know.
It's
I believe
it's a real concept, but I don't think we actually have one.
What's it called? Intra-orbital uh positioning system.
I know we got like
Maybe?
intercontinental ballistic missiles and shit like that.
It's like that, but from space and a big rod, and it does exist.
It's like the rod of God or something like that.
Oh,
It's like a
it's not
concept
the
weapon.
hand of. It's not. Is it the hand of God?
No, I think you're thinking of the hammer of God. That's different. That's more of a laser.
Well, no, that's the hammer of dawn. That's from Gears of War.
That is also different than the hammer of God.
There are many.
Hammer
things,
of God
but
might be what I'm thinking of. That might be the tungsten rod. Might be the hammer of God.
I think it is. But yeah, no, that
Because if you drop that from space onto
Yeah.
a city, it would devastate it.
yeah.
It's worse than a nuclear bomb when it comes to devastation.
Yeah. There's a beautiful little thing. It's called terminal velocity.
Yeah, there's another beautiful thing that's called warp space. And I think it's called
Bro,
warp
did
space.
Did you see that some motherfuckers in some lab made some like weird ass non-existent particulate thing that fucking is able to reflect space?
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
Bro, scientists are doing some weird ass shit right
Oh
now.
yeah, dude, I
Like
already know.
actually,
There's people
like
that are like
actually, they
that
made a
are
fucking molecule that reflects time, bro.
they're making like it's like oh particles, and they're just I don't know, man. The fucking
Dude, they're doing some weird ass shit.
the
I
Hadron
don't know what
Collider
the fuck.
is
Yeah,
just
like
all
every
that you
time that
need to
they
know.
turn that on, apparently there's more Mandela effect shit that happens. I'm like, okay. And apparently it's becoming like exponential. And if you look around at like all the things, it's kind of like, oh,
Ooh,
actually, shit.
ooh.
There's a lot more of those now.
I have to piss again. But when I come back, I have a topic that we can get into.
Mm. And then there was riveting silence across the kingdom. All that could be heard was the echoing, softly coursing, streaming, possibly across some porcelain.
Okay, I'm back. So, the expanded universe or extended universe theory, I'm absolutely sure it is not called that. But that's what I'm calling it. It's where we
Multiverse.
kind of. But say we got our universe here that's got like all of our galaxies in this area, but we go further beyond our universe into the
Yeah.
blank nothingness. But if you go out far enough,
There's a fleshy membrane.
there's another universe. It could be
Yeah, there's a
possibly
fleshy
smaller,
membrane, and then
or
there's
it could be
another uni-
bigger. And we could go through that, and beyond that, there's just universes just
so
out
many.
there in the expanse.
So, as according to the knowledge that I have been bestowed, I don't know if you can take this for solids, but there exists an infinity within each universe, and there are 13 individually contained universes, all of which are fully expanding outwardsly all the time, constantly, forever and evermore, and to an infinity. But they are contained within these weird fleshy membrane things, and there's 13 of them. That's just what I know. I might be totally wrong. I don't know. But that's what I saw. That's what I was told. Just saying.
Oh, I guarantee you are correct, but I also guarantee there's an infinite existence beyond that. Like, probably anything that anyone can
Probably.
say exists somewhere out there and is true. Even in, like, we got the multi-universe theory, but what about multiple reality theory?
Right.
Is
That's an
where
entirely separate conversation.
where there's
I think.
multi universes.
Yeah, so whenever you talk about multiple realities and then like possible like parallel universes and stuff, then you're talking different thing from what I was previously referencing. I'm talking about the thing that's just here in our now. If that makes any sense.
Kinda. I'm kind of following, but it's hard to stay in one line when you're talking about the infinite universe.
Right. So yeah, I'm talking about like our universe, the one that we exist in, is just like these 13 pockets of like different universes that are a thing, and then we exist in one of them, which I believe is the number 7. But again, I could be wrong. I don't know. But
Most likely.
I'm just going off of
I'm just gonna
what
say,
makes sense.
most likely, that anything that we could ever think of as these human forms, wrong.
Yeah, but like you
It's
go
like
into the
we're
multiple
scratching.
reality
We're
thing.
constantly scratching at
That's
the surface, and we sometimes
yeah.
discover new surfaces, but we're still scratching at it.
That's when you get into like the crazy shit where like I meet the other death and I'm like, oh hello, what? I'm not the only excuse me?
Yeah. Or you meet the reality where you are life, and you're like, oh shit.
What? Hang on, what? Go run that back. What? A reality where I'm a wife?
No, life. The opposite of death. Life.
Oh, no, you don't. No, you don't like that reality. That's not a good reality. I found out what happened when that happened. It's a
Except
thing that like the
if it's
universe does
infinite.
not want.
Except if it's infinite, there is a version where it is actually good, and you do want it.
Bro, if you could have felt the vibes that were coming out of that room when I was death being life as death, it was just absolutely not okay. It was so bad. It was like
I can't even
you ever you
actually.
ever you ever you ever watch like a 65-year-old man with like no teeth try to flirt with like an extremely attractive like 25-year-old girl
Yeah,
at
dude.
a
I
bar
work.
or
I work.
something?
Yeah, I work at one
Yeah.
that
Do you
is
know how like
an old people club for
incredibly
veterans.
do you know how incredibly uncomfortable it is to see that interaction happen
Oh yeah,
and
dude. It's so
just
bad.
like that immense discomfort? Multiply that by like 100, then we're talking. It's bad. Death should not be life, dude. It is bad. It feels wrong, like morally.
All right. So, are there any closing statements that you want to say? We've been recording for a while.
How far in are we?
Over an hour.
That's nothing. Who cares?
I mean, I can keep recording. You want to keep recording?
I'm down. I'm here. I'm yapping. Got me speaking straight Japanese right now. Like I'm going. You keep feeding me topics. I'll keep yapping.
All right. Well, I'm gonna cut that out, and give me just a second. I'm gonna go get me another Dr. Pepper.
I'm gonna grab another bottle of water.
Okay, I
Don't mind
I have
me.
returned it.
I'm just a little grim reaper. I'm not here to hurt nobody. I'm just
Man,
trying to live my own life.
I've got my studio room, my new space right here. I've got it all torn apart. I'm looking at it. I'm not looking forward to putting it back together.
Dude, that's a huge problem for me right now. Is I'm not really like I have to rearrange my whole room, and I don't like change. So this is a big thing. But I have to make room for the PC, and it's gonna be really hot. My rooms are to figure out some kind of like cooling situation for the room. 'Cause it's gonna be hot.
It's gonna be so cold in here in just a few weeks.
Fuck you.
Cause
Florida's so fucking hot.
as,
It's
soo-
not.
as
It's
soon
not
as
fair.
as soon as fall hits, it's like a switch is flipped here where I live, and it just starts getting cold. And then winter hits, and then it gets super cold.
Bro, I wish. I fucking wish. I
S-
fucking wish.
Spring and fall are probably the best seasons here in Arkansas.
I mean, they're the best seasons here too, but that's just because it's like mild.
Cause spring will
Like,
be like
I'm talking the highs of like, the highest 80.
yeah,
right?
spring here
And
will
then,
be
like,
in
the
the
lowest at
60s,
night is, like-
70s during the day.
It's like between 60 and 80 basically, and it's like really fucking.
At night during the spring, it'll be like 40, 50. It's so good.
It depends here. Like sometimes it'll do that, but it depends on like if there's a high or a low. Like we get a lot of fronts that come across in Florida, so it really
Yeah.
is dependent on what's
W-
going on.
We don't like fronts because fronts usually mean tornadoes around here.
Yeah, and I mean Florida being statistically like the most flat state, tornadoes should be a problem, but they're not just because Florida is so fucked and so swamped.
We are
Like-
right at the end of the tail of Tornado Valley.
Like there's just too much.
So it's
Even though
funny.
there's too much water and there's too much trees, and in Florida you just can't have. It just can't happen really. You
I'm
can't
in
get a big
the
one.
I'm in the perfect area for tornadoes to happen all around us and never hit us.
See, I like that. And I live in a weird place now. There's this like little triangle that like where I live in is on. And outside of that, there's always like major, like huge storm surges and like flooding and like this, that, and the other. But like this little triangle of area that I live in, totally untouched. Like I've literally watched massive storm cells come into my area and split over the top of the triangle and then re-merge at the bottom. I'm not kidding. It's weird.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes we'll have some storm damage, like flash floods and straight line winds, stuff like that. But we never have any like major shit that shuts the town down, except for that we had an ice storm, but that was like that shut down this whole part
Yeah.
of the country.
Yeah.
For, like, 2 weeks.
The last
That was in
last,
like
big-
2009.
yeah,
I think
the
we're due
last-
for another one.
The last big shutdown was Irma,
The hurricane.
which was 2017. I want to say maybe 2018. I want to say 2017. I'm not sure. 2018 maybe. But
Yeah, I heard there's gonna be
that
some
was-
crazy weather coming this year for you guys. Like even right now, there's some stuff forming.
I mean, there was a downburst. Like we got a big downburst,
Yeah,
but
but
like
that's
eh.
nothing new for Florida.
yeah, it's Florida weather, dude. It's normal. We deal with this shit on a daily, bro. Every fucking year. It is fine. Like it's one of those things like put a Florida driver on a road with like crazy ass wind and rain. They're gonna do way fucking better than somebody from a state where they're just not. like a lot of wind and rain and stuff. It's just, I grew up driving on I-4, right? One of the most dangerous interstates in the entire fucking world. That, like, statistically, it is one of the most dangerous interstates ever. But that's where I learned how to drive. 15 years old, just got my permit, getting ran off the side of the fucking road by a Disney tour bus on an interstate where the speed limit is 70? Yeah, bro. That's how I learned how to drive. Like, Florida goes hard, bro. I can handle anything. I'm fucking I'm tempered. I'm good. I'm like tempered glass. You can't break me. Put me anywhere. I'm good.
All right, I do have to end this though, cause I'm so tired. I gotta go to bed. I'm so fucking drunk,
Ah,
so
true.
high.
I got you.
Any last words?
Don't have any shit going yet. One day soon, I will have things going on Big Daddy Death with a 4 in the death for the A.
De4th.
On
Yeah.
Big Daddy De4th. Hopefully on, I don't know, Instagram and YouTube
And everywhere.
I don't know, maybe Rumble, everywhere, whatever, blah blah blah. Look it up.
Yeah. And I'm Fables. Fuck you.